Hi, welcome back to Book Talk. This is our third episode. Wow, we've already made it to our third episode. That's amazing.
Wow, thanks for listening still.
If you're here, at least.
Yeah.
I'm Serena.
I'm Hannah.
I'm Rachel.
And today we're going to be discussing Percy Jackson.
Yes. Now, Hannah has never read Percy Jackson.
I haven't. I was a diehard Harry Potter fan. What can I say?
I guess I wasn't as loyal as you are.
Guess so.
I most certainly was not.
I'm going to be learning all the things I need to know about Percy Jackson, and at the end I'll decide if it's worth reading.
Basically, Percy Jackson is about a 12-year-old boy from New York. Mm-hmm. He feels like he doesn't fit in. He has ADHD, dyslexia, struggles to focus, doesn't have a lot of friends until he meets Grover.
Oh my.
Grover is his friend that he meets at a boarding school, and essentially is his introduction into like the world of Greek gods. So in this universe, Greek gods exist, and they exist in modern day. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Anything to add?
Well, yeah, no, it's not just Grover, of course. It's like Mr. Burner, and like that field trip to the Grand Canyon that really expands on that. Mm-hmm. Because that's when like Grover was definitely there, but Grover was just kind of treated like a normal person.
Yes.
Whereas those people, they kind of show their true colors before Grover even fathoms that.
Yeah.
So how did they go from him being just a kid out of school to where he becomes? Because I know a little bit about Percy Jackson, but because I know he's like the son of Poseidon, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, so one of the first main quote-unquote villain or enemy is a character named Mr. Dodds. Sorry, Mrs.
Spoilers, by the way.
Mrs. Dodds, who transforms into a monster and just straight up attacks him.
And so, also, like, in this universe, like, these monsters exist through, like, a mist, so mortals don't see them as monsters, but they can, like, transform, and, like, demigods, which is what Percy Jackson is, will see a monster.
That also functions in the same way as Percy Jackson's pen. In the case that his favorite teacher throws him a ballpoint pen, and when he clickety-clackities on it...
Or I think it's take the lid off.
Or whatever, yeah. It transforms into a sword, and Percy Jackson goes ham on Mrs. Dodds and defeats her.
Wait, but how did Mrs. Dodds know that he was a demigod?
They can, like, smell demigods.
Yeah,
it's like monster power.
Like when you're younger, which is why Percy Jackson still lived in the normal world, that smell isn't as strong.
Oh. And did Percy Jackson's parents know that he was a demigod? That he was, like, living with at the time?
Yes.
He didn't know. His mother did.
And how are they related to him? Are they just friends that took care of him? Or... So obviously Poseidon wasn't...
Oh, yeah. So the gods are the parents of these kids.
Yeah.
So these kids are, like, half god, half...
Yeah. So was it just him and his mom?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Up? Okay.
And, like, I'm pretty sure, like, one adoptive father who treated Percy Jackson like trash.
Gabe, who is, like, not good. He's
I feel like that's the classic.
He gets killed later. Later on.
Uh-oh.
So what ends up happening is this smell that Percy Jackson has, that demigod smell, it gets stronger and stronger. And monsters keep coming after Mr. Jackson.
I think it gets stronger as they start to, like, realize who they are.
Yeah, it's like...
He's like 12, he's, like, getting older, and he's like, something is, like, not right with me.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So, pretty much, he gets taken to this camp.
Yes. This camp is a safe haven for all demigods. So basically, like, monsters can't get in or out, and so they can exist safely, because in the real world, it's not, like, safe for them.
Yep.
What's the camp called?
Camp Half-Blood.
Camp Half-Blood. And this is where Percy Jackson also learns his favorite teacher was a centaur.
Oh.
Which is pretty sick.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Chiron. Classic Greek hero if you read through the myths. Which is awesome, because all these books, they pull in representation from all the Greek mythologies while doing a modern spin on them.
Yeah.
Throughout the entire time.
I think it's a really good way for kids to learn about Greek mythology.
Yeah. Even if it isn't correct all the time, it gets the generals down, which is important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so the leader of the camp is first of all Chiron, but also the other Greek god Dionysus.
Yes. The god of wine and chaos.
Yes, all that fun stuff. And I don't really remember what happens between Dionysus and Percy. All I remember is that in the first book,
Dionysus, he's a silly guy. He's basically there because he's being punished for like going after a wood nymph or something.
Yeah.
Or, like trying to like get with someone that he wasn't supposed to. And so he's not allowed to like drink wine or anything, which is for like 100 years, and he has to be the director of the camp. Yeah.
Well, this first of all leads to our first major plot point, which is when Percy actually learns his father is Poseidon. He isn't told by his mother. He isn't told by anyone. He just kind of steps into... He is harmed in battle against his fellow campmates for fun, and he gets thrown in a lake, and all of his wounds heal, which signifies that his father is Poseidon.
Oh.
This is where, throughout the entire plot of The Lightning Thief, the first book, we don't need to discuss it really. This is where we learn that someone stole Zeus's lightning bolt.
Yeah.
And
so
is blaming it on Poseidon.
Yeah.
So it's now Jackson's goal to go grab it and give it back to Zeus, so Poseidon and Percy don't get hurt.
And he goes with his two friends, Grover and then Annabeth.
Wait. Is Jackson different than Percy?
No, Percy
No,
Jackson.
Percy Jackson, yeah.
Okay, that's how I thought. Okay.
But yeah, so he goes with he's sent on a quest from the gods. He goes with his friend Grover and someone he meets at camp, Annabeth, who becomes one of the most important characters in the series. So it's a classic hero's journey, classic golden trio thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Percy's the hero, Annabeth is the smarts, and then Grover's kind of the soul of the group. That's
so just like Harry, Ron, and Hermione.
Literally, that's
wow.
Crazy. Similar series follow the same tropes. That's crazy.
Wow. Who would have thought that?
Wow.
I don't know.
So
why is 12 years old or 11 years old the golden age for realizing that you're magic? I wish I found out I was a wizard or a magic person. Wait.
I also think that's the age that a lot of kids start reading these young adult books.
Oh, for sure.
True.
And so they want the kids to be able to relate to them, which is what's also really great about Percy Jackson is there's a lot of representation for all types of kids and all ages and
So of course Percy Jackson, we've only really discussed the first book. There's 2.5 million words throughout the entire series.
That's wild.
From the original Percy Jackson that I've grew up with to the new one that released this last year. And there's a lot of different plot lines in them, all the way from, you bring in the Roman gods, which are pretty much the Greek gods just later on. You bring in Norse mythology. And at some point there was also the Egyptian mythology bit.
Yeah, it's series on series that all sort of relate.
Yeah, they all relate together. Go on.
So are they all about Percy Jackson?
No, well,
no. Kinda. The Norse mythology series is about another kid named Magnus Chase, but the connecting factor in there is that his cousin is Annabelle.
Percy is the common denominator in all these books. He exists in all of these books.
Yes, exactly.
Or he's referred to
at least once or twice.
Okay, interesting. So have you guys read all of them?
No, I unfortunately have not had the opportunity to.
There's
I should
so
though.
Many, but no.
I wish I could.
I read the most important ones, and that's what matters.
Exactly. The most important ones to me.
Yes.
Yeah, you're good. Jackson and Annabeth end up together.
Yeah.
Because then that's kind of interesting because that strays from or maybe that is the typical trope, but I think that's.
I think it's just different in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Where Ron and Hermione.
Yeah.
Rather than
They
Harry
kept it different. Yeah.
Yeah, she tried to mix it up a little bit. How are your feelings on the shows and the new show that came out?
I'm a fan. I've been watching episodes as they come out. I am writing a review on it.
Ooh. Let's see that when it comes out.
Stay tuned.
But I'm a fan. I think it captures the essence of the show. It's not a total. It doesn't follow it line by line. But how are you supposed to do that? It's a totally different medium, and it's being written by the author of all the books. So I trust that it's gonna be good.
Unlike the movies that released many years ago.
So...
As a Percy Jackson advocate at the time, I thought they were good, but that's because I was 9.
Well, I think they're good movies. They just don't follow. If you're a fan of the books, you're gonna be disappointed.
Yeah.
On their own, they're fine. But
Oh no. I didn't like them, and that's just me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that concludes our episode on Percy Jackson.
Well, Hannah, do you think you would read Percy Jackson?
Yeah, would you read it?
I think I would. I don't know. I think there's a lot of books, so I definitely don't think I could read all of them. Yeah, but I think I can commit to a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can come back to it.
We can come back to it. Give us a little update later.
Yeah. I think I probably have some at home. My sister's a big fan. So.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Good night.